This is Steve Schiffman, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today in this particular webinar and podcast that we try to put out for you as a salesperson and you as a sales manager. Today, I'm going to talk about something that we very rarely talk about because it's intellectual, and we don't bring this up. The question to you is, what was the last book? No, I'm not talking about a sales book. You can get that. You can buy Hopkins or Sandler or me or anybody else out there who's written a book. I'm talking about reading a book, a real book. You know, a book about Napoleon or a book about ethics or a book about philosophy. When was the last time you sat down and actually thought about what you read and thought about how that applies to your life? Now, I'm not going to be philosophical today and go into all this mushy stuff. I know that's not what you want to hear. You know, my podcasts are relatively simple. What I want to do is give you 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, of tips that you can really use. I'm not interested in thinking about it and having to listen to 15 other people. You know, at night, sometimes I listen to podcasts. When I drive, I listen to podcasts. And they've got 20 people all going, ha, 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 how wonderful it is. And you really don't know what that meant. You sit there and you go, huh? You know what I'm talking about. You listen to the podcast and everybody's so happy. Even the difficult times, they're happy. Oh, it was wonderful. We had no money, but we still lit a fire in the basement. I don't know. What I'm saying to you today is I want you to start to think. I want you to plan to think. Get your planning book out and write the word think. Plan out some time when you're alone and you can think. I'm not talking about meditation. That's different. I'm talking about just thinking through what you do. But you need something to stimulate your mind. See, if you've done the same thing every day the same way, what happens is that muscle cramps up. For example, a youngster, child, 10 years old, can only play 10 hours a week in his sport because what they have figured out is, the doctors have figured out, that if he does more than 10 hours a week, he will cramp up. His muscle will cramp. Well, you've been doing this job for a long time, and maybe the muscle has cramped a little bit. Maybe you need to strengthen it. Maybe you need to stretch it. Maybe you need to try something different. And that's what I'm suggesting you do. Oh, I don't care what the book is, and it could be history. It could be anything for that matter, philosophy, history. It just be a book about how to build something. It doesn't make any difference to me, but it should make some difference to you. You know, Dwight Eisenhower, who was president of the United States in the 50s, read, very simply, Westerns. He liked them. They were relaxing to him. But more importantly, when you read the books about Eisenhower, you realize that he actually took him away. It took him out of the space. Now, you remember, he ran World War II. He was president afterwards into the Cold War. And so he needed some release. And he found Westerns, believe it or not, to be that. Well, that's for you too. How much work do you put in trying to achieve, trying to be successful? I bet it's a lot. And I bet you deserve a break. You deserve some time to just sit down and think about what you're doing. You know, sometimes, when we do that, we reach a different conclusion than we thought we would reach. You know, it's not the same. Oh, we thought we'd go this way, and we actually went the other way. I want you to think about that. I want you to give some thought to the reason you're doing what you're doing. When I do a seminar, I say to people at the end of the seminar, you're lucky to be working for this company, because I believe it or I wouldn't be there. However, I then say, but if you don't think that, then get out. I tell people that, get out. If you don't really believe that the company is right for you, then get out. Some people heed that, other people don't. But right now, where you are in your life, you've got to determine what you're going to do. Is this right for you? And this is a moment that I'm breaking off from everything else that you do for you to think about that. Do that, please. Do that for yourself, not for me. Do it for yourself. Anyway, this is Steve Schiffman, and here's our offer. Our offer is relatively simple. All you have to do, send me an email, say, I'm interested. Say that, I'm interested in help, if you want to say that one. And I will set up a 20-minute free consultation with you on some sales tips that we've talked about here. And maybe we'll get a book, maybe not, doesn't matter. So all you do is write. Do it through the website if you want. Do it on email. I don't care how you do it. I don't care how you find me. You will find me. I know you will. Go to Google, steveschiffman.com. Anyway, this is Steve Schiffman. I do want to thank you very much for joining me. And as always, you humble me by your presence.